Happy Wednesday. It is that time for Ready, Set, Real Estate with yours truly, Lisa Puerto, super agent, the one, the only, and the original. I thank you for tuning in with us every Wednesday where we're bringing everything real estate, bringing phenomenal people, phenomenal movements, inspiration, motivation, armoring you and empowering you with real estate tools, strategies, and information. We do this for you. We are doing this for you. I want to take a moment to definitely shout out our sponsor, Thelonious C. Jones, who makes this show possible. And we really, really appreciate Thelonious C. Jones. You can support him at gurusdon'ttellyu.com. Again, that is www.gurusdon'ttellyu.com. Gurusdon'ttellyu.com. That's the first time I actually spelled it out because I do want to remind people while we stream live, we rebroadcast on a radio podcast everywhere. So we are bringing special guests to the show. HBCU Realty is in the building. HBCU Wall Street. What do you get when you merge historically Black colleges and universities with real estate? Our co-founder today is Torrence Reed. He can tell you all about what that merger looks like. Torrence, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Lisa. Definitely appreciate it. Definitely been looking forward to it, and trying to see if we can give your listeners some of what you give them, and that's real estate.
Yes, I am so happy. So this is what's really great about innovating the technology is that we can take what we just really bring in this diaspora of a family together. And this topic today is going to be very near and dear to me because for the first time, as I've shared, I've had the gift of vision to create the Real Estate 100 movement, to launch the Real Estate 100 book series. And by the way, for those of you who are not aware, Anthony Lee, my co-author, and I have been nominated Author of the Year for 2018, recognized by the Indie Legacy Awards. Let me say that again, Indie Author Legacy Awards for Real Estate 100, the Teen and Millennial Investment Blueprint. So we're making strides and waves in education. So woo, shout out to Anthony Lee. I see you. And by the way, HBCU Wall Street actually reposted our book, by the way. So I want to thank you for also spreading the awareness and the message. So we also, at some point, we may or may not be joined with your co-founder partner.
Right.
And we just definitely, if he's able to connect with us, we'll add him to the show. And we're going to get rolling because people are waiting to learn about who, what, where, how we get connected. Connect, build, and share is our motto. Connect, build, and share.
Right. So I guess I can just tell you what HBCU Realty's parent company is.
Yes.
So HBCU Wall Street was kind of born out of necessity from the founder Jamerus. We were entrepreneurs in college. We both graduated from North Carolina A&T State University. And we, like many others, followed the graduate and get a good job, get a degree, and you're okay mantra. We kind of quickly realized that wasn't true. And so knowing that entrepreneurship is essentially the key to financial freedom, we started to go down that path and started to realize that a lot of our counterparts, our alumni and current students, just didn't have that financial acumen that's necessary to become free. So we started a community. We started an online service provider that essentially serves as a resource for increasing financial entrepreneurship and investment opportunities in the Black community. Of course, starting with HBCUs, because HBCUs created the Black middle class in this country. When this country has thrived, it has permeated outward from HBCUs. So we wanted to start there. So that was how Wall Street came about. Being an entrepreneur myself, me and Jamerus as well, also with real estate playing such an important part of wealth accumulation,
right.
generation, it only made sense with real estate being an applicable method to the teachings and information that we've been disseminating, whether it be improve your credit or work on your cash flow, or actually start saving money, whether it's passively or aggressively. There's no better end result to applying those ideas than to investing in real estate and home ownership.
And I wanted to add on to that, because as we're talking about creating a class of people in terms of wealth, you touch on so many things that are loaded words for our audience: generational wealth, entrepreneurship. You're talking about the college education, the college arena, especially when we're looking at what we're being conditioned to do in terms of the academic curriculum and the academic track record, and people know this about me. I'm not knocking college or universities by no means. But one of the things that for us with our movement with Real Estate 100 is we want to support that percentage of the population that actually is not attending college. So that has to come in a form of entrepreneurship or trades and independent contractors and the independent consultant and businesses. So I really, I'm listening intently, and my audience knows that when I do the Wednesday Ready, Set, Real Estate show, I'm master students.
Right.
I am master students.
Well, it's great that you say that, because I guess, maybe I can get into a little bit of the detail of the idea behind the HBCU Realty. But the benefits of it touch all parties: students, the community, campus administrators, investors, community urban redevelopment programs, anyone who has a vested interest in the Black community improving. So that we have a way for them to participate. So essentially, HBCU really is a social investment platform. As I stated earlier, when communities thrived, it permeated outward from the universities. So now you have these universities developing in silo with this withering community immediately around it. And so there are a couple of parties that have an interest in the community around an HBCU being revitalized. The first being the university. The university oftentimes can use these rehabilitated homes as additional student housing. We're working with what I'll keep an unnamed university at this point in time, because we're in the beginning stages, to offer students who are interested in real estate actual course credit and volunteer time. Electrical engineering students, they may be interested in the panels getting installed in their house. You have construction management major students who may be interested in the project management process of the house rehabilitation as a whole. Or you may have architectural or landscape design students. We may let them have a competition to redesign the landscaping of the house and actually implement the winner. So the university and the students have a vested interest that has immediate results for both of those parties. As far as the community is concerned, community has a greater sense of ownership and a heightened awareness to keep rehabilitated properties rehabilitated from an aesthetic standpoint. I want to feel that my neighborhood aesthetically looks better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so when that starts to happen, the individuals who reside in that community that aren't necessarily students or have no relation to the university, they take more of a sense of ownership, or participation. And the last party you have is your investors. I mean, whether you're social investing or you're investing for monetary reasons, you're buying homes at a small marginal cost, able to rehabilitate them for a minute fraction of new construction, and your gains. You know, the gains are they'll be phenomenal based on the purchase costs and rehabilitation costs of the houses. And so you have it crowdfunded. You crowdfund it, because a lot of people feel like they'll never own a house, and many of us will never have $50,000 or $100,000 to put towards something. But a lot of us can find $5,000 or $10,000. And even if you own 10% of a house versus 0%, you still are participating in the actual revitalization of that neighborhood. So it's not just for students. We're definitely we're rooted in HBCUs. That's where our journey began.
Yes.
But for lack of a better terms, I say HBCU problems are Black people problems. So it goes hand in hand.
Right.
Definitely look forward to that.
I really commend you with taking on ownership and initiating that. You and your partner, it really takes, and say his name for me. I don't want to say partner, like he's this invisible person. Jamerus? Right.
I think he's having a little bit of technical difficulties. So
okay, no worries. So shout out to Jamerus Payton, co-founder as well of HBCU Wall Street and HBCU Realty, where they have created a platform, a hub, a resource place as a solution to what we're seeing as dilapidated property that is impacting and surrounding the HBCUs across the country. And when I said that this was near and dear to me, especially because I had come back from the conference I did in Atlanta, I did the Generational Wealth Building Conference there, and I was on a night tour per se. My schedule was so tight, but I still wanted to see some real estate while I was there. And I was really thrown aback to actually see and bear witness to properties that were just left as ghost towns. Literally, you have townships and sections surrounding these areas that are getting new stadiums or very close to walking distance to the university and are completely just dilapidated, boarded up, just left there. One of the things that was mentioned to me is that a whole row of properties had actually been bought up, torn down, and now is a parking lot. And I'm just going to share this as I shared it then. I'm so moved by it. I was angered to tears, and it reinvigorates what I do. It reinvigorates, the success of Ready, Set, Real Estate. And for those that I bring on to support, again, I'm going to keep belaboring the connect, build, and share, because if we don't get into a position where we are supporting one another and investing in one another. So I'm glad that you said that 100% of nothing is still 100% of nothing.
Right.
And it's a mindset shift. And so, woo! I'm fired up. It was in me. It was in me.
I thank you. I think another, in doing this, one of the things that we've realized is that a lot of our people just don't know, and so we literally have these online communities, one for financial literacy and one real estate specific. It's just a wealth of information. We have lenders, lawyers, financiers, property owners, wholesalers, people with one property, people with 10 properties. They just talk to each other and they share. And in doing this for the last 3 years, you'd be surprised to hear a lot of us say, hey, I just don't know. No one in my household ever talked about it. You know,
Yes.
it wasn't drilled into my head at 10 years old. Real estate is, as of now, the most single surefire way to wealth in this country. You know, if someone had told me that at 15,
Yes.
if someone had told me that at 15, I probably would have invested my refund checks that I got back in college.
Say that again. I think some people might have missed that one. It's tax season. Let's just say that again.
I mean, if me had have came to me at 15 or 18 and said, you know, you should do something with this $3,000 or $4,000 that you're getting every semester, because like most, I probably had nothing to show for it when I left college. You know, so I should have invested that money. You know, so with HBCU Realty, we want to bring the idea of home ownership down to the mind of an 18-year-old. You know, because most people, we don't think about it until we start approaching our 30s, and that's because that's where the setup of our financial society standards sets that mark. Okay, you're 28. Okay, you're 25. Now you're ready. You know, so what we want to do is say, okay, you're 18. You're in control of your life for the rest of your life at this point. So start thinking about cash flow. Start thinking about credit. Start thinking about passive income. Start thinking about ways to make money while you're asleep. You know, because they lied to you. They told you you'll get out and get a job and everything's great, and that's just not the case.
That's not the case. And so here's how this alignment works. You are addressing at the age of 18. Our nonprofit actually addresses at 7th grade.
Nice.
We are cross-pollination. We are planting those seeds at early as 6th and 7th grade with anyone. And I'm sharing this with those who are listening for the first time. Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation, that's what we are doing. We are planting real estate literacy, part of the high school curriculum before high school culmination. And actually this weekend, I'm bringing on our first 9th grader as one of our interns.
Nice. That's commendable because, I mean, it's a very simple thought, but just think about how many people you know that they get to why have you never seen a loan application in college when you're at college? You know, I mean, that was how I got into this. You know, you're in college one Saturday, and on Sunday you're now part of corporate America. And there's just so many things that are left out that they have expected you to acquire. And one of them is the understanding of personal credit and how it relates to your generational wealth. And the fundamental idea that you should have more money coming in than going out every month. You know, I just can't for the life of me understand why there's not a personal finance class that is a required part of the collegiate curriculum.
That's okay. That's okay because the onus is on.
Right. And so that's, so that's what we're doing. You know, we go to the universities and we're talking credit and we're talking cash flow. And I usually ask the students, how many of you in here understand that you're in the red every month? And 95% of the classroom raises their hand at first. We're not. That's after the explanation, which is mom's paying for your lodging, grandma's paying for your gas, and dad's paying for your books. People are paying for your life. You currently have more expenses than you have income monthly. You're in college. Build something. Create something. There are test subjects walking around you all day long. This is the time of your life to start those gears churning where you can make have a multiple revenue streams. So why not get started with real estate at an early age?
Oh, that was so loaded. Would you please share with our listening and viewing audience perhaps what's coming new with HBCU Realty, HBCU Wall Street? And in that, would you please connect, let them know how to connect with you and learn more. For those who are viewing, I am plugging in the website, but for those who are listening, please let them know.
Okay, sure. I guess I can tell you what we're doing first. So with HBCU Wall Street, we're gearing up to release our flagship concept, which is HBCUnomics, which essentially is the application of what we stand for, the teaching of financial literacy and entrepreneurship and investing, to produce actual revenue generating solutions immediately for our communities. Again, that's HBCUnomics. That will have an accompanying mobile application, workbook that you can self-paced walk yourself through. By the time you're done with the web book or the mobile application, you will literally be in a better financial position to help yourself, your community, your university, and your children that are here or to come. So we can be found at hbcuwallstreet.com. That's HBCU Wall Street, spelled out how it sounds. Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter is just at HBCU Wall Street. And what do we have coming up with the Realty? So I'm actually
really like that So it's HBCUnomics.
Right. I mean, think economics.
I'm excited about this. Wow.
Think economics, but the pieces that they're leaving out, which is the pieces for us.
The pieces that they're leaving out.
With HBCU Realty, we're actually putting the finishing touches on an Ohio-based social investing venture titled Housing Joint Venture.
Okay.
Actually have secured a property near Central State University, and we'll be sending out information regarding that, for prospective and interested investors within the coming weeks. Actually, within the next 10 days.
Within the next 10 days. So for those of you who would like to be part of some tangible experience on getting involved in real estate, get connected with HBCU Realty, HBCU Wall Street. I think, so here's the question. If someone wants to be involved, do they have to be in that locale?
They don't. I mean, we're a digital entity. I mean,
of course.
I'm in Washington, D.C. I have team members in Raleigh, Durham, Miami, San Francisco, Midwest. I mean, we're all over. Much of what we do, like I said, much of the contribution that you could do to your community or the self-improvement you could take or just the financial freedom you would like to gain, we've built such as, you could do from your phone. So we do have live events, up and down the East Coast. We mainly Atlanta, Washington, D.C., New York, the major metropolitan areas. But if someone would like for us to come to an area or speak or present a workshop, just reach out to us. We're definitely open to that as long as scheduling and logistics works. We love talking to the kids. We love talking to individuals. I could talk all day about this, as you can.
Great. And now that you said that, this is segue to wrap us up. So I want to make sure, I thank you all for tuning in. Be sure to share and invite someone to view what we're doing on the show, Ready, Set, Real Estate. Again, phenomenal people continue to come on the show. And again, get connected, get hip to what we are doing. Again, the show is designed to support our nonprofit Real Estate 100 Youth Foundation, give back to the real estate community in the form of real estate literacy to the next generation. Our motto is teach the next to fix the now. Torrence, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you and Jamerus for what you're doing. We will continue to build offline. We'll continue to stay connected, connect, build, and share. And again, much success, prosperity with all of that.
Thank you very, very much. I really enjoyed the conversation. This is ingrained in my fabric. I could talk about it all day. So if you ever need me back, just let me know.
Of course I will. We want updates. We love updates. Thank you all. See you next week on Ready, Set, Real Estate.